So this is Steve Ridgell, and in some of my videos recently I've been talking about what it means to, well, to die to yourself, to be buried with Christ into death in baptism, to be crucified with Christ, to live by faith, how you live out being a dead person who's been raised to a new life, all of those kind of things. But there's one more thing I think we probably ought to talk about that Jesus said, and it's when he wrote letters to the churches in Revelation, and he said this: be faithful unto death, and you'll receive the crown of life. So I've talked to a lot of people recently in our journey class at Hillcrest, where we've got a lot of people who are trying to figure out what it looks like to follow Jesus. We've talked about that verse because there's a couple of things I think that verse could be saying. One, obviously, is the most natural meaning. Well, even at the point of death, you be faithful. You know, lots of Christians have lost their lives through the centuries because they believed in Jesus. Here in America, we've been pretty immune to that kind of persecution. Now, I think there have been other things where our culture is anti-Christian, and I don't know, we've had a lot of overt persecution, but I think the day may very well come. I think probably my grandkids, my great-grandkids, I would almost be sure, and certainly my great-great-grandkids will maybe face death because of their belief in Jesus. It happens all over our world. So I think what Jesus is saying, don't give up even at the point of death. You be faithful and you'll receive that crown of life. So don't let the threat of persecution stop you. But it could also be taken as that even when you see death, you be faithful. Don't give up. Finish strong. I've spent a lot of time in hospice because people I love that are Christians are dying. And so they go into hospice, and sometimes they're conscious or aware for a while, and they can visit and communicate. And I'm going to tell you, there's nothing as powerful as watching a Christian die faithfully. You know, we talk about our witnesses, people that live for Jesus. I'm telling you, it's also powerful to watch Christians die for Jesus, because that matters too. I know sometimes that death is painful. I've talked to enough people dying to know that. I know sometimes that death is a little frightening because you're not sure of the process. But I also know a lot of Christians who have said, I'm ready to go. I see the face of Jesus. I want to go home. I want to be with God. I want to be with Jesus. I want to be with my loved ones who have been faithful and have gone ahead. Even sometimes younger people who are like, you know, I'd like to live, but if this is what God calls me to, I am ready. Be faithful even when death is staring you in the face. And of course, the other way to take that would, of course, obviously be just finish it out. Wherever death is, you be faithful all the way until. Now, I'm 72. I think I'm 70. Boy, how sad is that? I have to think. I'm 72. I don't know how long I've got. A year? 5 years, 10 years, 15 if I'm really blessed, maybe. But I do know this, up until the time when I die, to whatever abilities I have, I will be living faithful to Jesus. I will follow Jesus. I will be faithful to Jesus. I will love Jesus. I will share the story of Jesus all the way up until I die. So you be faithful unto death, whether you're being persecuted and threatened with death, whether you're sitting at the point of death, or whether you're just looking down the road and going, God, I don't know where it is, but I will be faithful. That is our call as believers.